Now that we have the floor plan ready, let's add some furniture. You can add furniture in the 2D mode. In the right sidebar, there is a drop down for furniture. You can add the furniture from one of these categories. All the furniture objects that we have in our catalog are categorized by their type. Let's say we want to add a sofa here. Let's go to sofa. They can also be filtered further. Let's say we want to add a 3-seater sofa. Let's pick a sofa. This looks good. Let's place the sofa. Once again, you can use Q to rotate any object by 90 degrees. The furnishing objects automatically snap to the wall boundaries and edges of other furniture objects. You can also find furniture objects directly by searching from the search bar here. Let's try to add a 1-seater sofa actually. 1-seater and sofa. That will automatically select 1-seater sofa for us. Let's pick this looks good. We can pick and move these furniture objects. Let's adjust the width a little bit, 3 feet. Let's add a carpet. Let's pick a simple carpet. There are lots of carpets available here. Let's pick this one. The carpet automatically knows that it has to sit under the sofa objects. Next, let's try to, by the way, so at any point, if you want, there's a shortcut for the search bar, which is space bar. If you press space bar, automatically the focus will go into the search bar. Here you can type anything that you like. Let's say I want to add a standing lamp. Let's try to find one that looks good for this. Maybe, yeah, this looks fine. Or this, let's add this. Let's place it here. So sometimes when you want to add exactly position a furnishing object, the snaps might get in your way. So furniture automatically snaps to walls and the boundaries of other furnishing objects. Whenever you want the snap to be disabled, all you have to do is hold shift while you are moving the furnishing object and snap will be disabled. The other option is you can also move the furniture object using the arrow keys. That will move the object without getting influenced by snap. Okay. Next, let's try to add a coffee table. This looks good. You can adjust the size of this coffee table as well. Let's add a fan. So whenever you have multiple furniture objects that are one on top of the other, you can select the furniture object that is under this by holding the option key, or if you're using a Windows laptop, the alt key. This alternates the selection. So now we are selecting the carpet. If we hold alt and click again, we select the coffee table. Hold alt and click again, we select the fan. So this should help you select whatever furniture object you want at that position if they are overlapping, right? Let's just take a look at how this room is in 3D. Yes, the furniture has been added. Maybe we would want to add a TV unit here. Let's go and add a TV unit. TV units and all the woodworks have a separate drop down here. In the 2D mode, we have wardrobes, L-shaped wardrobes, straight kitchen, L-shaped kitchen, U-shaped kitchen, and a TV set. Let's add a TV set here. So when you're adding a TV set, just note that this handle is basically the back of the woodwork and it needs to be towards the wall, right? So let's make this a 6-foot TV unit. We'll put it here. We can customize the design of this TV unit later. Initially, a default design will be automatically provided by the software. We can go and customize this design we'll look at how we can customize this design in a later video. So adding furniture objects is this simple. There are a couple of cases that might be a little tricky. For example, let's say we want to add like a photo frame or a painting here. Let's try to do that. Come back to 2D, we search for photo frame, and let's try to find a photo frame that looks good. Let's say we want to add this one or this one. So let's increase the depth so that we can look at this. So holding these is a little complicated because these objects are very thin. So what would help is if you zoom in a little bit, your mouse pointer, whenever you hover on it, the mouse pointer will change. Whenever it changes, you can just click on it to hold it. Then you can use scroll to zoom out, and then you can use double click to move the floor plan or pan on the floor plan. If you drop the furnishing, you can always pick it up again by clicking on it. You can use Q to rotate this and place the furnishing object. So one of the things about placing the furnishing objects is whenever you select a furnishing object, you will see the properties of that furnishing object that you can edit on the sidebar. You have width, depth, height, which are obvious. There is another one called out, which basically represents the height of that furnishing from the floor of the room. So right now this furnishing or this photo frame is at 0 0, which means it is on the floor. So let's verify this in 3D. So the scene is updating. Let's give it a second to reload. Yes, so the photo frame seems to be on the floor. Let's go back and adjust the position of that photo frame. Let's put it at 3-4 feet height. So this should automatically update. Yes, the portrait is now on the wall and it is at a 4 feet height. Let's say we want to adjust the position. There is another way to move furnishing objects, which is in 3D, even though it is a little more complicated. So if you want to move a furnishing object in 3D, what you have to do is hold the shift key and hover over a furnishing object. When you hold shift and hover over any furnishing object, the three different axes are shown. You will be able to pick up this object and move this object along one of those axes. So for example, let's say we want to adjust the position of this photo frame. We hover on the photo frame while holding shift. Now we click, this picks up the object. Now we can move this object along any of these axes. Let's say we want to move it slightly to the right or slightly to the left. And once we move it, if we want to drop it at that location, we just click again. Note that all this while we are still holding the shift key. So we click here again. Yes. So you hold shift, you pick up the object, you move it wherever you want, and then you click again to drop. When you click again, the shape of the mouse pointer is supposed to change, right? You can do this with any kind of a furnishing object. For example, let's say you want to move the sofa, you'll be able to move it slightly to the right, to the left, or even up and down. You have to be careful while you're moving furnishing objects in 3D because the perspective is sometimes hard to get right. So it is much recommended that you just move the furnishing objects in 2D. Most of the furnishing objects, especially the photo frames, etc., fans, they automatically know where their position, what their default height or what their default out is supposed to be. So this should not be a problem in most cases. But in case you want to adjust something, you can always go into 3D, hold shift and adjust it however you want and drop it there, right? So this is what it takes to add furnishings.